Hello guys, and welcome back to another glorious day of mining and crafting here on Intrinsic. Hello. So, Wiz and I are hard at work. I know, Wiz spends a lot of time here, but he does own some of the farms here too. So, plus I do have public farms here as well. We have been doing a bit of work in between episodes, and we're even doing some work now. We are prepping for some future plans. So you see that island over there? Yeah, that one. Yeah. Wizard needs villagers. I was already planning to build a villager breeder here for some villager farms. And that's not good. Alright, so like I said, we have been pretty hard at work over the last few days while we've been busy. Or while we haven't been recording. So, we went ahead, got the gravity block duper in shortly after the last episode came out. This is a community farm, but I have it here because these things can actually crash servers if you're not careful and don't know what you're doing. Do I know what I'm doing? Probably not, but I know how to stop the server from crashing. So I pretty much handle running this, and then I have a storage room in the Nether for everybody to pick up their stuff from, which doesn't have everything in it yet, but it's got a good amount, and this takes hours to run, and I haven't had time to. So we went ahead and built this bone meal farm. Why? Because I saw the need for more bone meal in the future, and went ahead and got it built. So as you can see, this observer line may look kind of strange, as well as all the ones running underwater. Let me explain to you what these are for. So, when you flick this, that gets moved and sends a signal all the way down. And then for this one, you can't see it, but there are the same system as that down there that transmits the signal over, and it's extremely fast. So I do this, it updates, and then sends a signal up, which flips for this farm, it hits a T flip-flop, which then activates the farm. For my Nether tree farm, I do the same thing. I flip it on, it sends the signal over, and then you'll see it turn on here in just a minute. And I plan to have off this main path, or this main area, have switches for all the farms. I've even got one in for this, which tells you it'll be where our industrial bone meal farm hooks up. Now you may be curious, where is that going? Well, right now it's sitting, well, it's not sitting anywhere. Right now, that is not the button I needed to hit. It is actually placed here as a schematic, and this is what it looks like. I might actually move it over that way, but I'm not sure yet because of its size. So, we're going to go ahead and turn this back off so I don't have to look at it. I'm still working on getting all of the required blocks to start building it. But, as you can see, and that wasn't in last episode, there is another tree farm here now. So the other day, I was dealing with this, waiting on the first couple of turtle eggs to hatch so I could start getting more. I've since got over 3 stacks, almost 4 of turtle eggs. So while waiting on these guys, I got bored and I said screw it and started building that tree farm. Got it built, and even started running it, and I even shot it when it wasn't working originally. So yeah, we did all that, and these things still weren't hatched. So, with that having ran with all the bone meal I had, and it only ran for about an hour, I decided we needed a bigger one. So that's the plan for the industrial. So we went ahead and got a villager breeder set up. Wiz and I just finished building it right over here. And provided one of these morons will just take the job. I don't know why they're not. I'm going to have to check into that in a little bit. Hi guys, HeyIt'sAuri here. Yeah, I did look at that after recording that portion of the clip, and in actuality, it turns out by some sheer stroke of luck, I managed to bring over 2 nitwits, which we have since managed to clear from the farm and get it running. So our breeder is functional now, but yeah, we had 2 nitwits in it, of course. They will start making baby villagers for us. And from that point comes to what we're working on right now. This is going to be our flying machine Melon Farm. Wizard is helping me so that way he can also be able to use some of the stuff for his trade hall, which is going to go right over there on the island. But with all that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop back. We're going to continue working, getting our dirt placed and all that. And I will be back when it's time to build the flying machine for this. And I will see if I can't explain to you guys how it works. Alright guys, so we got the pumpkin and melon farm finished. Originally this was just going to be a melon farm, but it produces so many melons that I went ahead and did it half and half, and it works fine. So, okay, wow, that lag. We've been experiencing some lag since late last night. And the flying machine broke. Oh, there it goes. Wow, what is this? Alright guys, so we got the melon and pumpkin farm all finished up. We have been having some issues since last night, so you'll have to excuse the lag you might see. I'm not sure if this is now stuck or if it is actually just lagging. Oh no, the lag broke it. I'm gonna have to come back and fix that. Okay, well, we'll worry about that later. I'll just deal with it another time. So, while we're out here, let me go ahead and discuss some of the plans after I get a little bit of a nap. Alright, so, Wizard has decided to build a trade hall. Now, because he doesn't have anywhere to get his villagers from, I agreed to let him source it from here, and he helped me build the villager breeder. So, this is where the villagers are going to get sourced from, and I'll need those for other farms anyway, so that's why I went ahead and built that. So from here, we're actually going to be building a trade hall, which I think he's planning to put right here. But we're also going to be having a big storage room that all of the different items from our farms can go to and, well, get basically sorted out and boxed up. Now, I went ahead and sat down last night and I designed the actual storage system that we are going to be using for that storage room, because with the farms being some of them very high output, we definitely want them to be something that we're not going to have to worry about, you know, it overfilling and breaking things. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over to my redstone test world and we'll show you guys what's going on. And here we are, guys, in my redstone test world. So this, kind of get that block out of the way, this is going to be our storage system. So what we're going to have is we'll have an item sorting system up here. Our water streams will actually run along the top of this hopper. And then we have our item sorter, takes care of all of that, which then feeds the items that are sorted out into a shulker box loader. So let me just grab let's grab an item that can fill up easily. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and start filling this up. And I'm going to show you guys what happens as soon as it fills. Alright, so there we go. Well, normally it doesn't pop into my inventory, but typically it'll pop into that hopper when you're not standing that close. So, what basically happens, the items will get sorted up there. They will then come down their appropriate hoppers. And from there, they will then get put into these boxes. Now, when this shulker box gets full, it'll get detected and it will basically trigger this to update to 15 right here. So when this updates to 15, this will trigger, which will then lock this hopper, triggering this observer. Whoops. Let me just fix that. Okay. Triggering this observer, which of course will then trigger this observer. So now, when this observer gets triggered, it's going to trigger the piston. Now this one then will get triggered twice in this. So it doesn't really matter about it getting triggered here. Well, I'm sorry, yes it does. So what happens when it triggers here from this one, it's going to trigger this dropper to put a shulker box inside of this dispenser in case it doesn't have one. Or in case it's got an empty slot like it does right now. So then, this will push out, which will then trigger this dispenser right here, and this will draw back fast enough that this dispenser will then pop out a new shulker box and continue loading. So the trick here is, instead of using a lock, basically a lock on the comparator where you would run a signal strength of 15 into the side, we use this as our lock. So this block will only be able to be triggered. Alright, so this observer will only trigger when this reaches a strength of 15. So this way, instead of it being something like this, where, you know, it's a few blocks wide no matter how you look at it, which this is an excellent shulker box loader, mind you. This one is actually, this is the same one as up there. It's just built a little differently because I used chests instead of barrels. This one is one wide, and it's tileable. So I could stack as many of these right next to each other as I could possibly need. And this one, like I said before, works just the same. Fills it up, does that, and then it drops it down into here. So, pretty simple, not too crazy. And this will be our storage system. Now, we got to get some flattening done on the area first, but let's go ahead and hop back over to Intrinsic, and I will go ahead and discuss with you guys what our plans are for today. Alright guys, so here we are back in Intrinsic. So our plan for today, including fixing that later, and yeah, I'll deal with it in a little bit. I don't want to fix it right now because it's going to be a butt. Flying machines are always fun, and not sure why the server has been lagging, but I'm going to refrain from turning any farms on right now just to prevent them from breaking. So unfortunately, any farms I wanted to run today are probably out of commission for right now because it's going to be just a pain. Alright, so our actual plan for today is to begin some more work on the interiors of the manor. I actually stopped over here to go ahead and pick up some warped and crimson stem from the Nether tree farm because I would like some different colored woods inside of the manor. So for now, we're going to start by pretty much putting in floors and building up walls. So as of right now, the main floor is 6 blocks tall, and as I really start to build rooms, I'll determine from there, you know, do I need taller rooms? But I really think 6 blocks tall will be more than enough for the rooms we're doing. And of course, there will be, while these rooms are kind of square in a lot of places, there will be more depth added to them as we go. But I think the big part for this episode is just kind of getting some more walls up. Because once those walls are up, I can start working on laying down tops to the different floors, and then even starting on the second floor if I want to, and even getting this stairwell in, because this stairwell is actually one of the things that's going to be holding me up from continuing in this room. So I think from here the best option is going to be to jump into a time lapse of basically me just building walls. So after I take a nap, as the amazing builder, Good Times with Scar would say, commence super fast build mode.
Yeah. 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 On me. Yeah. No escaping from my mind, but low key. You know that you one of a kind, wanna show me, baby. The things you feel do with that body, yo. Show up everywhere that
As you can see from that time lapse and right here, we got a little bit more work done. Far from completed, but we got some stuff taken care of. I'll have to fix that later. So we got mainly the hallway walls done. We spent about 30 minutes working on this because we had to play with the design a bit. We're still playing with that. And eventually the plan is to start moving out here. And of course I put up these walls around the treasure room. So it now has, or that's the map room. So it now has its own walls. And of course there will be like different walls on each map. Like we're going to try and do an entire map of the East Continent right here on the floor. And we're going to have different maps like, you know, the Industrial District and Spawn and, you know, different things around the server. And then different builds that we end up creating. So with this being done, I really think for the next step, Wizard, as you can saw, joined me and was helping me out with this. Our next step, Wizard wants to go out and do some work in our industrial district to try and start setting up some of our storage out there, because I really need to get the storage off that main platform, because that's kind of meant to be my control room where I can wire up all of the different farms to work. So with that, we're going to head over to the industrial district and we shall be back. Alrighty, so back out at the industrial district, we've got work to do. I went ahead and I fixed the flying machine on that real quick, got it back up and running. So that'll be running in the background while we are doing this. I didn't turn the bone meal farm on because I feel like it's probably too far away to be able to actually run properly. I'm pretty sure it's not actually loaded over here. So I didn't want to risk that. At least I think, yeah, it's probably not loaded because I can't see it. So we've got this whole large area that needs to be flattened out and cleared. So Wiz is AFK. I think he had to go do something real quick. So this is going to be the spot for our storage area. So we're going to get to work on leveling out and clearing some of this area, as well as probably work on getting some of that area cleared up too for the trade hall that he's going to put out here. But one of the ideas that have been since had is that we were going to actually turn this island into kind of like a hub of the industrial district, because there are going to be farms that are eventually going to wrap the entire island. So from that, I think the best thing to do is just to get to work. I'm not going to time lapse this because it's just a bunch of digging. So time to turn on some music and start to dig. Okay, now guys, so this is the area we have leveled out and cleared so far. It's not very big. I'm not sure how much more space we're going to need yet, so Wizard and I still got to talk all that out and figure everything out for it. But for now, he did have to go. Something came up. He didn't say, but he did need to step away for a few. So this is done. Now, as for you guys, I will go ahead and fill you in on just a little more information. So unfortunately, with everything going on this week, I didn't have as much time as normal to plan my episode out. I normally take a few hours at the beginning of my week to plan out the entire episode and have a cohesive plan of what I'm doing. And I usually have all my supplies and everything already prepped and ready to go. So unfortunately, like I said, I didn't have the time to do that this week. That was unfortunately used for other things. So you're going to notice this episode is out a little early. So it's not going to be out on Friday. It'll probably be out on Thursday, provided I'm done with all the editing and have time to finish all the editing before Friday anyways. So, slight bit more news. There wasn't a Hermit Scavengers episode this week. So again, with everything going on, I didn't have time to sit down and record it. I had a few other things that were going on. So I have postponed episode 2 until next week. So you guys will still see that episode. I'm not canceling the series. It's still going to be coming, but I had to postpone episode 2 for a week. Further information. So, there is currently a super flat challenge server that I've opened that might be making videos out of. I am not entirely for certain yet. I have done some recording on it, but it's kind of an awkward kind of thing to record, so I'm still trying to figure that one out. So what I may do is put out what I've already got recorded and just put out that episode as more of a pilot episode. And from there, we'll see how it goes. And if it's well liked, then maybe I can find a way to continue it. But, a little more news. So right now I am trying to work blockheads into my schedule for uploads. Like I said, this has been a busy week, so I haven't had a chance. And the hardcore series is not been canceled. It's still a work in progress. I have actually, and now I'm stuck in flight mode. Yay. I have actually been looking at doing it the way Grian and Scar are doing theirs currently, and the lag is back. Okay, can't even take off. Wow. Alright, I think the lag is fixed. And thankfully the flying machine didn't break again. That's gonna slightly affect what I'm doing at the moment. I'm actually doing a 1-hour test to see how much this farm produces, and it's looking like it produces quite a bit. So, as I was saying, for the hardcore world, I'm actually thinking of doing it a little more along the lines of how Grian and Scar are doing theirs, as well as, I believe, Joel is doing his as well, all on the same server, but I'm going to actually do mine in a 100 hours format. Because what that does is, instead of having to sit down and record 15 to 30 hours of gameplay for an episode, I can then record just a few clips throughout a few hours and put out multiple episodes. So what the goal of it will be is that our first 100 hours, which will be roughly around 600 days, will be our season 1. So each thing we're going to do is, every time we reach 100 hours, we will then end our season and start a new one on the same hardcore world, provided we made it. So in between each season, of course, I'll probably take a brief 1 to 2 week, maybe month break, depending on how I'm feeling at the time. And they'll then pick back up with, after 100 hours, then we'll pick up with 200 hours of Minecraft Hardcore, where we'll be doing hours 100 to 200. Because that will then allow me to have a more flexible format to run them on, which isn't going to drastically affect my job as well as my family. So big props I want to give to Grian and whoever came up with them for that idea. You guys have saved me so much headache by coming up with that, and I appreciate you guys, even if you'll probably never see this video. Thank you. But guys, I don't have a lot more time to keep recording, and to be honest, most of this week and the weekend that I did have time to get on was a grind for materials, because a lot of the future farms we're planning have needed, I needed to get the villager breeder up for some of the farms that are planned. So Wiz and I did that. I don't think we recorded it though. I'm pretty sure we didn't. So we got the villager breeder up and running. We got this farm up and running, which is mostly just to benefit the trade hall. But this thing here requires immense amount of redstone. Over 100 and it's like 145 target blocks, like hundreds of pistons. It's extraordinarily expensive. So a lot of the time has been spent building multiple witch farms. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and jump into a time lapse. So what I would do is jump into a time lapse of building the witch farm. But, me being the moron I am, I accidentally deleted the witch farm footage. So, whenever I went to go in, and basically I had hopped over to Blockheads real quick to check something out Mine wanted me to see, and I had left replay mod on, so I turned it off, and I thought the video that was showing up in, this top right corner here was the one that it just popped there, and I ended up deleting it, realizing afterward that that was the witch farm replay that I deleted. So I don't have one of that, but I will be building a third witch farm, probably in between episodes. So what I can do is throw that in with the next episode for you guys to see how it's going. All 3 of the witch farms are actually built the exact same way. So last night I built one of them, Wiz built another, and we both tried to AFK them as long as we could until the server kept kicking us. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm actually probably going to have to get in touch with our server host to find out why things are doing this, because it's been a little bit absurd, because our server should be more than strong enough to handle everything that we've got going on, and more. I had laggier things than this last season. So, this all being said, guys, I'm going to take some time to get this video edited and get the next video planned out, and hopefully by then we'll have a little bit more resources to start on some of our bigger farms. I plan to do the gold farm or this bone meal farm in this episode, but I don't have the materials for either of them. Come to find out, I looked at the plans, and this shulker box is enough for like one of the 6 platforms that I need to build for mine. So what I may end up doing is doing a live stream where we build the top platform of the gold farm, so it can at least start running. And then from there, build additional layers as I get more magma blocks. But we'll have to see. I'm definitely leaning towards more live streams. Also, Vault Hunters. You guys really seemed to like that live stream I did over the last weekend when I had a bunch of time that one night and I didn't want to do anything else, so I tried out Vault Hunters. It seems to be doing really well. You guys seem to really like it. So I think that's what we're going to keep doing. So I'm going to try and find a time where maybe once a week or once every other week we can sit down and do a live stream of the Vault Hunters mod pack. The plan is on Friday when I get my paycheck, I'm actually going to get a server specifically for it because, as you guys could have seen in that live stream, my computer was struggling a bit with the world and the actual stream. So that will continue. I was having fun. You guys really seemed to enjoy it. It racked up quite a bit of views in, well, in scale to my channel, of course, in quite a short amount of time. So, and I just imagine that's because Vault Hunters is probably kind of big right now. I didn't play it because of that. It looked fun. So, with all this being said, guys, we've got more work that's got to get done. But right now, I've got to go ahead and end this video because I've got stuff that needs to get done and I don't have any more time to plan anything out for this episode. So guys, if you did enjoy anything that happened here, please go ahead, drop a like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions, just leave a comment. Or if you have any questions, drop it down in the comments. So with that being said, I will bid you guys adieu and have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.